All right, let's move on to another SEC team. We got to talk some Lane Train, 12:30 Eastern on ABC, the Outback Bowl.
I haven't been to an Outback in forever.
The Outback. Man, that's a restaurant that you loved as a kid, and then you get older and you're like,
I don't eat all this bread and fried blooming onion.
I do love. I mean, the blooming onion. Yeah, if you put the blooming onion in front of me, I'll fuck with it. But I love their Aussie. It's just a guilty pleasure. Their Aussie cheese fries. I remember reading one time they were like, it was like the unhealthiest foods in the world from like chain restaurants, and that was like the Aussie cheese fries were like 4 trillion calories. All right, but it's the Outback Bowl, Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. We have Ole Miss, 12:30 Eastern, ABC. Ole Miss at BetMGM is a 9-point underdog against Indiana, over under 65.5. I mean, look, there's not much that I can really say about Ole Miss. They're pretty easy to describe. Their offense all year has been unbelievable through the air. Just an extremely efficient passing attack. But now they're without 2 of their best receivers. They also had a couple other injuries to a few of their other skill possession players in their finale against LSU. But the offense has been really good. The defense has been so bad. It's almost hard to explain how bad this defense has been for a bowl team. I mean, this has to be the worst bowl defense we've ever seen. It's rare to see, like, if you go down the list of like metrics, you're seeing Ole Miss sometimes in like the bottom 5. Those teams don't usually make a bowl. So their defense is horrendous. They go really fast, but they're not at full strength on offense now. Indiana has been their offense has been really bad. They've been fortunate in turnovers. I believe they've been outgained on the year. Yeah. But it's been a good year for Indiana. Their defense has been okay, but there's flaws on this team. This is a really hard game for me to cap. Ole Miss, their offense it's still not a full strength. They were still able to move it against LSU, but the defense is just so bad. I don't know if I can trust them, but is Indiana the team to exploit it? Help me out here on this game. It's a tricky one.
Yeah, it is, because Lane Kiffin has said every single day that we are going to have a real problem making this bowl game because of the number of COVID issues that we're having. And that's just, flashing red lights to me that I don't care what this number is. If it's 7, if it's 8, if it's 9, how can I back Ole Miss up when I know Elijah Moore is not going to play? I know their tight end is not going to play. I don't know what they're going to put on.
And those are 2 top receivers.
Yeah, 2 top receivers. I don't know what they're going to put on the field. And Stuck's right. Everything on their defensive side is blood red. Some of the worst numbers. I mean, almost dead last in defensive finishing drives. You look at Indiana, and it's a team that has been powered by their defense the entire season. There was really, some luck and some field position that, they had some. I'm not going to say they are a lucky offense. I'm going to say that they had great field position. They came up big when they needed to on third downs. They really, I don't want to call them lucky because they're not. They were talented, and they've been decent, ever since the Ohio State game, getting points up on the board. I think the only way that you can play this game, considering COVID.
No, but they have a new quarterback too, Indiana.
And when you look at Tuttle, and when he showed up to play, he was just as efficient as, in some parts as Michael Penix Jr. So he is capable of running the offense. So what that tells me is that when I have an Ole Miss defense that I know is terrible, and I'm not talking like just bad in SEC, I'm talking bad as like on a UMass level, and I have an Indiana offense that is capable, then I don't want to mess with the full game total, which is falling in the market, and I don't want to mess with an inflated spread. I want an Indiana team total over. I feel confident that they're going to get enough possessions. I feel confident they're going to move the ball in this Ole Miss offense. And because Ole Miss is the 3rd fastest tempo in the nation, we could be looking at 17 possessions here for Indiana. I think an Indiana team total over is a wiser play than taking a completely inflated spread. We have no clue how Ole Miss is coming into this game, who's going to be available other than they're missing their top 2 targets. For me, it's Hoosiers and points, and just isolate the bet on that and call it a day.